And welcome back, everybody. This is JavaScript tutorial number 3, and we're going to look at strings. So a string is usually either in double quotes or single quotes. I'm a string. I'm also a string. Now here's a good reason to differentiate between the two, because you're going to use both. Now in this case, this is going to work. We're not going to get any errors. However, there's a problem with this one. We're using single quotes, no problem with that. But here, I'm also uses the same symbol. So it's going to think that the I is a string. It's going to think all of this is gibberish. And then it thinks there's going to be another string that's going to start, but it's never closed. So let's jump over to the console. I'm a string. No problem. Now, I'm a string. Error, unexpected identifier. So you just got to watch out for that. You can add strings together. So the plus operator combines the strings. I'm a string that connects to this other string. Gotta watch out for addition. 5 plus 5 is not 55, but if you're adding strings together, it is. Let's jump over to Python real quick. You'll see it works the same way. So 5 plus 5 is 55. But JavaScript is a little different. You can add a string to a number or an integer. In this case, it turned the number into a string and then concatenated them together into 55, just as it did if they were both strings. In Python, it's not going to work. You're going to get an error. Can't convert int object to string implicitly. JavaScript did. Python not going to do that for you. Just got to keep that in mind. Now, strings have some interesting properties. So let's create a string. We'll call it string thing equals just some random words that don't make sense. Alright. Now string thing works a lot like an array, and we'll look at arrays. And actually this is a good place to start to understand arrays, because a string is treated as an array. It has a 0th place, so if you put in a 0 here, we'll get the first letter. It's a J right here. It has a length, so string thing dot. Now a dot it's going to bring up all the properties when you're in the console here. And there's quite a list of properties. Slice, replace, split. You'll see these come up quite a bit. What we want is length. 53 characters long. However, length is a little tricky. It actually, here, let me show you. String thing 53. It's going to return undefined because it actually ends after the last letter in a place that is not defined. However, if you say -1, 53 minus 1, you'll get the last letter, E, right there. Introduce you to regexp real quick. Regular expressions. So let's make a pattern, just a variable name equals, and this is what regular expressions have in JavaScript. And let's look for the letter D, and then plus as many characters, and let's say backslash non-space, capital S. I'll go over this a lot more. Plus, let's see what we get. So we'll say string thing, and it has a method called match. We'll put the pattern in there. See what it returns. It found DOM. Well, it looked for a D, so I don't see any D's until I get here. And then we have a non-space character, and the plus means one or more. And there were 2 more characters before we got to a space, so it came out with DOM. I hope this kind of started you off with strings. Of course, there's console.log, and you can log a string. This is a string, and you can concatenate it with anything you want to in JavaScript. It's kind of nice. And we could say 53 plus, and let's put string thing in there. This is random stuff put in here, but maybe kind of show you how it all works. This is a string, 53, just some random words that don't make a lot of sense. I think I've gone over strings pretty well. If you have any questions, go ahead and ask. Hopefully that was clear. And until next time, see you guys later.